Hello everyone, this is Payal Bachan. Welcome to Pharma Desert. In this video, we will discuss about pharmaceutical packaging part 1. So let's get started. First of all, definition. What is packaging? Packaging that can be defined as the economical means of providing one type of presentation, protection, identification, information, containment, convenience, compliance, integrity, and stability for a product during storage, transportation, display, and until it is consumed or throughout its shelf life. So, what is the definition of packaging? Packaging, that is one type of economical means which provide any presentation of otherwise any protection or identification of product, as well as they provide information regarding product, stability of product for a product during storage period, as well as transportation period and display, and until it is consumed or throughout its shelf life, that is known as packaging. What is pharmaceutical packaging? Pharmaceutical packaging, it is the science, art, and technology of enclosing or protecting products for distribution, storage, sale, and use. So, what is the difference between packaging and pharmaceutical packaging? In pharmaceutical packaging, that is a one type of science, art, as well as technology of enclosing or protecting the product for the distribution, storage, sale, as well as use. So, packaging that are also referred to as the process of design, evaluation, and production of packages. Next one, what is ideal packaging requirement? So, in ideal characteristic of packaging or ideal packaging requirement, first packaging requirement, that is they must protect preparation from environmental condition. So, ideal packaging, that means they protect any type of product from environmental conditions or environmental hazards. Second one, they must not be reactive with product. uh, Packaging material, they can't react with any type of product. That is one type of ideal packaging requirements. They must not impart to product taste or odors, so they can't affect any type of product taste or odor. That is the one type of ideal properties or characteristic. They must be non-toxic in nature, so packaging material, they must be non-toxic in nature. They must be FDA approved, and they must meet applicable temper resistant requirements. So they also provide a temperature resistant requirement, and they must not be cause of product degradation. So that is about ideal packaging requirements. Last one, they must be adaptable to commonly employed high speed packaging equipment. What about functions of packaging? First function, that is a product identification. So packaging material that is useful for product identification, and packaging they greatly help in identification of products. So any packaging material that contain one type of label, and label that is very useful for identification of any products. Second one, product protection. So packaging, they protect the content of product from spoilage, breakage, as well as leakage, etc. So how product that is protect? So in product protection, packaging is it is useful. So packaging which protect the content of product from the spoilage as well as breakage and leakage of any substances. Second one, facilitate the use of product. So how facilitate any product that is useful or not? So packaging, they should be convenient to open, handle, and use for the consumer. So packaging that is which facilitate the use of product, which type of packaging that is required. So packaging, it should be convenient to open, easily handle, and that is used for consumer itself. Second one, product promotion. What about product promotion? Packaging is also used for promotional in attracting the attention of people while purchasing. So, packaging it is also required for a product promotion. So, how product that is promoted? So packaging that is useful for promotional as well as attractive the attention of any people while purchasing any type of product. So for attracting and promoting, it is also useful. Marketing, how it is useful? The packaging and labels that can be used by marketers to encourage potential buyers to purchase the product. So packaging and label both are useful for used by any marketers which encourage the potential buyer for purchase any type of products. Last one, what about convenience? In convenience, packages that can have a features that add the convenience regarding distribution, handling of product as well as taking of product, display, sale of product, opening, reclosing, use and dispensing of products and reuse, recycling and easy of disposal. So all are the regarding functions of packaging. Remaining one like barrier protection. So how it provide a one type of barrier protection? A barrier from oxygen, water vapor, dust, etc. is often required. So packaging that is very useful for and that is act as a barrier protection. So which provide a barrier from oxygen, water vapor and dust. And permeation that is a critical factor in design. So some packages that contain a desiccants or oxygen absorbency which help to extend the shelf life of any product and keeping the content clean, fresh, sterile and safe for intended shelf life. It is a primary function. So packaging that is a primary function that is act as a barrier protection from oxygen, water vapor as well as dust. So some packages that contain any desiccants, otherwise oxygen absorbents, that are very useful to help the extend the shelf life of any product and product that keep content clean, fresh, sterile and safe for intended shelf life and that is a primary function. What about security? Packaging that can play an important role in reducing the security risk of shipment. So packages that can be made with improved tamper resistance to deter the tampering and also can have a tamper evident features to help indicate tampering. So packaging or packages that can be engineered to help reduce the risk of package pilferage. So what about security? So packaging that provide one type of security. So they reduce the risk of any shipment or transportation, transshipment. So packages that can be made with improved temper resistance. So which provide a temper proof resistance. That means which provide a protection against temperature changes. Next one, what about selection of the packaging material? So in case of selection of packaging materials, first one that is on the facilities available. So for example, pressurized dispenser which requires special filling equipment. So in first one for the selection of packaging material. So packaging material how it is selected? First one that is selected based on facilities that is available. So let's take one example. If pressurized dispenser if pressurized dispenser that is available, so which require filling equipment, special filling equipment that is required for pressurized dispenser. Second one, selection of packaging material based on the ultimate use of product. So in case of ultimate use of product that may be used by skilled person in hospital or may need to be suitable for use in home by a patient. So product that may be used by any skilled person in hospital, otherwise that may need to be suitable for use in home by a patient. Special one, next one, on the physician form of the product. So for example, solid, semi-solid, liquid or gaseous dosage form. So packing material that is selected based on product physical form. If it is available in solid form, semi-solid form or liquid or gaseous dosage form. Next one, a selection of packaging material based on route of administration. So what type of route of administration you have to prefer, like oral route, parental route, or any external route. Next one, on the stability of material. So, packaging material that is selected based on stability of material. Let's take one example. Moisture, oxygen, carbon dioxide, light, any trace metals, temperature or pressure or fluctuation of this may have a deleterious effect on product. So, any moisture presence or presence of any oxygen, carbon dioxide, light, trace element, all may produce any deleterious effect on a product. So, they provide one type of stability of any material. Second one, on the content. So, the product that may react with package, such as release of alkali from the glass or the corrosion of metals, and in turn the product is affected. So product that may react with package, like they release the alkali from glass or corrosion of metals, and in turn the product which is affected. Next one, on the cost of product. So expensive product usually justify expensive packaging. So packaging material that is selected based on cost of materials or product. So if expensive product, they usually require expensive packaging. So that is about selection of packaging material based on various factors. Next one, hazards that is encountered by package. So hazards that is encountered by package, which can be divided into three main groups. First one, that is mechanical hazards. Second one, that is climatic or environmental hazards. And third one, that is biological hazards. So in mechanical hazards, various hazards that is available. First one, that is shocking or impact damage. Second example, that is compression, vibration, any electrical conductance or abrasion. All are the example of mechanical hazards. Next one, climate or environmental hazards. In climate or environmental hazards, various example that is present here. First one, that is moisture, temperature, pressure, atmospheric gases, light, and solid airborne contaminants. All are the example of environmental hazards. And last one, biological hazard. Two examples, microbiological hazards and chemical hazards. Both are the example of biological hazards. Next one, types of packaging. The first type, that is primary packaging. What is primary packaging? It is defined as the material that first envelopes the product and hold it. And this usually is the smallest unit of distribution or use, and is the package which is in direct contact with the content, or what is the exact definition of primary packaging? That means any product they directly contact with any product or material or dosage form, they directly contact with any type of container, and container they directly hold any type of product. So direct contact of product and container, that is known as primary packaging. Primary packaging, that is usually a smallest unit of distribution or use, and is the package which is in direct contact with content. So primary packaging, that is one type of packaging material, and they directly contact with any type of product. Example of primary packaging like ampoules, vials, containers, rosin droppers, closures, any type of syringe, strip package, and blister packaging. All are the example of primary packaging. So what is the exact definition of primary packaging? Primary packaging, they are directly contact with any type of product, that is known as primary packaging. Second one, what about secondary packaging? Secondary packaging, it is defined as packaging that lies outside the primary packaging. So, secondary packaging that is present outside, or primary packaging that is covered with secondary packaging, and that is the figure of secondary packaging. So, it is perhaps used to group a primary packages together. And example of secondary packaging, that is a paper as well as boards, cartons, corrugated fibers, box manufacture, etc. So all are the example of secondary packaging. So what is secondary packaging? That is one type of packaging in which cover the primary packaging, that is known as secondary packaging. What about tertiary packaging? Tertiary packaging that is most widely used for bulk handling, warehouse storage, and transport shipping. So tertiary packaging that is most widely useful for if a drug or substance or any product that is bulk in that is available in bulk. So that is useful for bulk handling as well as warehouse storage in transport shipping. So the most common form that is a pelletized unit load that packs tightly into the container. Next one, unit dose packaging and device packaging. What is unit dose packaging? This packaging, which guarantees safer medication by reducing a medication error, and it is also more practicable for the patient. So unit dose packaging, that is one type of packaging, and they guarantees a safer medication. So how safer medication that is provided by unit dose packaging? So, unit dose packaging, they provide a safer medication by reducing medication error. Like it is also more practicable for the patients. So that may be very useful in improve the compliance with treatment, and that may also be useful for less stable product. So that is about unit dose packaging material. So unit dose packaging material which guarantees for safe medication by reducing medication error, and how that is occur. So it may be useful in improving the compliance with treatment as well as that is also useful for any less stable substances. Next one, device packaging. What is device packaging? Packaging with the aid of an administration device is user friendly and also improves a compliance. So according to their name, device packaging that is most widely useful for packaging of any device. So this type of packaging they permits easier administration by means of devices like pre-filled syringe, any droppers, transdermal delivery systems, pumps, and aerosol spray. So such device that ensure that the medicinal product it is administered correctly and in the right amount. So that is about device packaging material. So example of device like any pre-filled syringe, any dropper, transdermal system or pumps in aerosol spray, all are the device packaging material, and such device they directly ensure that medicinal product it is administered correctly and that is administered in right as well as proper amount. Types of packaging materials. Various types of packaging materials that is present here. First example that is glass, metals, rubbers, plastics, fibrous materials, films, foils and laminates. So we will discuss one by one. First one, glass. Glass that has been widely used as a drug packaging material, and glass that are made up of sand, soda ash, limestone, and coolant. So glass that is most widely useful for any type of drugs packaging material, and glass that are made up of sand, soda ash, limestone, and coolant, as well as that is silicon, aluminium, sodium, potassium, calcium, as well as magnesium and zinc. All are generally used into the preparation of glass. Next one, what are the advantages of glass? So glass, they are hygienic and suitable for sterilization. So that is hygienic as well as that is most widely useful for sterilization purpose. Second one, they are relatively non-reactive in nature. So that is non-reactive with any type of product. So non-reactivity, which is depend on the grade of glass. It can accept a variety of closures. So glass, they can accept a variety of closures as well as they can be useful on high-speed packaging lines. They are transparent in nature, so that is a biggest advantage. They have a good protection power and they can be easily labeled. So all are the advantages of glass. Remaining advantages like they are available in various shape and size, as well as they can withstand the variation in temperature and pressure during sterilization. So if you are performing any type of sterilization study, so they can withstand against variation in temperature and pressure. And they are economic and easily available in market. So they are neutral after a proper treatment. They can be sealed hermetically, otherwise by removable closures. So they do not deteriorate with age. So glass, they do not degrade with age or during a long-term storage period. They are impermeable to atmospheric gases as well as moisture. What are the disadvantages of glass? So glass, it is relatively heavy as well as glass that is fragile, so that is easily broken. So as well as remaining disadvantages like they release alkali to any aqueous or hydrous preparation. So next one, that is photosensitive drugs can't be protected in the transparent glass container. So in that case, amber colored glass container that is required. So first disadvantage, that is glass that is heavier in nature compared to plastic, as well as glass that is fragile, so that is easily break down. They release alkali into aqueous preparation, as well as photosensitive drugs that is not protected by transparent glass container. So in that case, if a photosensitive drug that is available, so ambered color glass container that is most widely used. Is a glass that is chemical substance. Sometimes it react with the product contained inside it. So if glass that is act as a chemical substance, so it is directly react with product contained inside a container. Types of glass. Most widely that is divided into various types, but major types, that is four types. Type 1, that is neutral or borosilicate glass. Type 2, that is a treated soda lime glass. Type 3, that is soda lime glass. Type 4, that is a natural purpose or a general purpose soda lime glass. Next one, that is colored glass and neutral glass. So all are the types of glass. We will discuss one by one. First one, type 1, that is known as borosilicate glass. So borosilicate glass that is produced by replacing the sodium oxide by boric oxide and some lime by alumina in the basic component of glass. So borosilicate glass that is prepared by replacing some sodium oxide by boric oxide. So sodium oxide that is replaced with boric oxide and some lime that is replaced by alumina. So, basic component of glass that is made up of boric oxide and alumina. Borosilicate glass, that is a one type of least reactive glass, as well as they have a high melting point and that can withstand at a high temperature because that have a high melting point, so they withstand at a high temperature easily, and they are resistant to a chemical substance. Remaining points like higher ingredients processing cost. Therefore, it is useful for a more sensitive pharmaceutical product like a parenteral and blood products. So, a higher ingredients and processing cost. Therefore, that is most widely useful for any sensitive pharmaceutical product like parenteral product or blood product. And mostly ampoules and vials both are made up of type 1 borosilicate glass. Next one, type 2, treated soda lime glass. Type 2 glass that is made from commercial soda lime glass and that has been dealkalized or treated to remove a surface alkali. So that is useful for that are made up from soda lime glass and that is useful to remove surface alkali. So the dealkalizing process that is known as sulfur treatment, and sulfur treatment which neutralize the alkaline oxide on the surface and which render the glass more chemically resistant and higher chemical resistance but not as much as type 1, and that is cheaper than type 1, that is acceptable for most product and except a blood product and aqueous pharmaceutical product with a pH less than 7. That is our type 3 glass, that is soda lime glass. That is a ordinary glass prepared from silicon dioxide, soda ash and limestone, and that is most widely referred to as soda lime glass. So glass containers that are untreated and made up of commercial soda lime glass. If any query or doubts related to topic, please write your questions in comment box. Thank you.